In unit number 4 of internal combustion engines, that is testings and measurement, today we will focus on some of the engine performance parameters. Okay, so this topic is very important in terms of calculation of or in terms of understanding the performance of internal combustion engines. Basically, we need to understand what is the meaning of the performance. Performance, basically it is connected with output of an engine or output of any system. So output is only achieved when we are giving it some of the input. Okay, so that input converts it into output by some of the by following some of the processes. Okay, so these processes or intermediate processes are very important for the calculation of the output. Basically, if we consider the actual phenomena, nothing is 100%. So there are some of the losses which we need to consider in each and every step of the process. So if 100% input is applied, we can't imagine that 100% of output is achieved. Okay, but in IC engine the useful work can only be done up to nearly up to 30%. Means see, 100% of input is applied and near about 30% of useful work is carried out. Okay, so let's focus on this thing here, or we can say performance describes how well that process in that manner. Okay, so before discussing about the performance parameters, I will draw one graph so that we can understand where majority of the power or energy is lost. Okay, so here just focus on the diagram here. This vertical line represents the amount of energy. Okay, or in terms of the power, we all know that power developed inside the engine in terms of brake power, frictional power, as well as indicated power. This line we are focusing about energy distribution. Okay, so energy distribution in terms of all types of power will focus here. Now let's describe the various amounts of energies. So I'm drawing one representation of the energy. Let this portion is the energy of fuel. Okay, and that is represented in the manner of the units of kilowatt. Means you consider this much of energy is developed after the combustion of the fuel inside the internal combustion engine cylinder. Okay, now here I will focus on how much of further energy is divided or used. Now this portion I will draw it for indicated power. Again, indicated power, the units I will mention it in the kilowatts. Now indicated power is that power which is developed after the combustion process. Okay, to drive that piston from TDC to BDC. Okay, so in the first you have discussed this is the amount of energy which is developed after the combustion process. Okay, and this much of the energy which is developed after the during the expansion stroke. Okay, so that is also called the power stroke of an engine. And next type of division I will mention here, this one. So I'll consider this as the brake power. I'll mention it in the kilowatts in similar manner because all the powers are considered in the kilowatt manner. Now here BP is brake power is considered as the useful work that is done on the output shaft. Okay, means generally when combustion takes place and the piston starts moving from TDC to BDC or BDC to TDC. During the third stroke of expansion stroke, maximum amount of power is developed. Okay, this power is responsible to run the crankshaft. Okay, and that crankshaft which runs, okay, so we can consider it is the useful work done after the indicated power. Now here I will tell where amount of energy is lost or it is transmitted in different forms. Now see here, you see there is a difference between the indicated power as well as the energy that is developed after the combustion of fuel. So this is the difference of energy. This energy is the loss, and that loss happens in terms of exhaust, or coolant of the system also absorb that amount of energy, as well as that energy is lost in terms of the radiation. Radiation in sense means material or the walls of the engine, these are absorbing the energy and delivers, dissipates on the second side. Okay, so this is the amount of energy which is lost during the exhaust, coolant as well as the radiation. Now next difference I'll mention it here, in between the difference between brake power as well as the indicated power. Already I had told you indicated power which is developed during the combustion process is responsible for the expansion stroke huge amount of power to drive all other strokes. Okay, that is indicated power. So brake power, that is developed over the output shaft. So this difference of the energy, this is also the loss here. Now this loss is only because of the friction of the system. Okay, now we all know there are many more movable parts inside the IC engine. Okay, these are having contact with each other, and due to contact there are chances of getting friction, due to which heat is developed. Okay, and that heat is not utilized, but this heat is dissipated. This is not of any use. So this energy is lost in terms of the friction, as well as the energy is lost in terms of the pumping system. Okay, so in friction as well as the pumping system, the energy is lost, but how much of energy is in use? Only this much of energy. Okay, means you can consider if 100% of energy is developed after the combustion of the fuel. Okay, only 30% of energy 30% of energy is used as useful work. Now here in different manner I would like to explain. I will draw a schematic diagram of an IC engine. Okay, let it be the inlet valve, this is the exhaust valve. If it is a spark ignition engine, then here is the spark plug. Okay, now let us draw, this is the TDC here, and this is the position of the BDC, where maximum positioning of the piston in between TDC and BDC. So I am drawing here the piston here. Now piston, with one end it is connected with the crank rod, connecting shaft, and further it is connected with the crank rod, and here it is connected with the crankshaft. Okay, so I will draw one crank wheel here. Now what I want to tell you here, when piston means very first stroke, if I discuss here, very first stroke, that is the suction stroke. So due to suction stroke, what happens, the piston, the position of the piston is somewhere here. Okay, when inlet valve is open, okay, the suction is developed and the piston goes in the downward direction, due to which what happens, air plus fuel mixture gets inside the chamber. Okay, this is the first stroke, and there is a revolution of the crankshaft here in particular direction. Okay, so we can say it has moved only up to 180 degrees of the rotation. Now second is when that position of the piston goes in the upward direction, then it calls the compression stroke, where huge amount of pressure is developed in this area. This is called the clearance volume. Okay, now here when that pressure is developed, then spark plug comes into action. Okay, because this is the spark ignition engine, and when ignition takes place, means combustion takes place, huge amount of power is developed. That we have focus in this manner. Means I will try to explain here. This amount of energy is developed during the combustion of the fuel inside the chamber after the compression stroke. Now what happens after that? Huge amount of pressure is developed that is responsible to operate the piston in the downward direction, due to which what happens, the crankshaft is moved. Now this crankshaft is driven only by the energy developed during the expansion stroke. This energy is developed inside the IC engine. This is called the indicated power. Okay, and the useful work in terms of the rotation of the crankshaft is called the brake power. Okay, in this manner we can consider what is the indicated as well as the brake power. So brake power is the useful work to drive the entire IC engine here. Okay, now I hope you have understood IP and BP indicated as well as brake power. Now here I want to tell you the various amount of energy losses. Okay, so in case of, just wait. Now here we have mentioned the losses. Okay, this part, left side of the part. These losses are due to the exhaust, coolant, radiation. This amount of heat energy which is developed inside, this is very important first of all, if it is utilized in proper manner. But what happens after the expansion stroke, when exhaust stroke takes place, maximum amount of heat is released out from the exhaust valve. So that is considered as one of the loss, because this is not utilized in this manner. Second, this amount of heat which is developed inside the cylinder, okay, that is absorbed by the coolant system. Coolant system is that phenomena or method to maintain the temperature of the IC engine. Okay, that is the part in which water or the liquid is flown around the cylinders to maintain the temperature inside the IC engine. Okay, so that part of energy is lost also. Then we are discussing the amount of energy which is developed inside the combustion engine. These are the walls of the engine. Okay, the energy is also radiated out of the wall, means energy is transmitted from material to material. In these three manners energy is lost. Okay, so this is the basic difference, how much energy is developed after the combustion, but how much energy is remained inside to run the mechanism. Okay, now third is that was the difference between IP and BP here. That is considered in terms of the friction. Okay, now no doubt there are many more movable parts inside the combustion chamber. So due to the friction and due to the pumping, maximum amount of energy is lost. So here this IP and BP, generally the difference between IP and BP is considered as the frictional power. Okay, this is considered as the frictional power. Now here I hope you have understood the concept where we discuss about the graph here. So again I will try to tell you. See the energy distribution, how we can consider the energy of fuel is, if it is developing 100% of energy, then this is being reduced, and up to brake power we are getting only 30 means almost 30% of energy that is useful to run the crankshaft, and crankshaft is which is transmitting the power to the output shaft. Okay, so here now we will discuss about the performance parameters. Okay, so in next page I will draw here engine performance parameters will be discussed here. So I'm writing here engine performance parameters. Now what are the parameters? These are this is nothing but these are the variables, okay, which are affecting the performance of an engine. Now one by one we will discuss about it. At any point if you find any ambiguity, you can put your question in the chat box so that it will be clarified. Okay, so let's discuss about engine performance parameters. I have divided it into three categories. First is just hold on. First category is the power. Second category is the efficiency, and third category is the consumption. So I can write, I will write it here, fuel consumption. Okay, now let's start with the power itself. Okay, right now as we have discussed various powers of the system means IC engine. Here first type of power, just wait. huh. First type of power is the indicated power. Indicated power, or we can say this is the IP. Then second type of power is the brake power. Brake power is represented by BP. And third type of power is the friction power. Okay, this is in terms of the FP. So basically we have I can say let's consider the units of the power in the kilowatts. Okay, now one by one we'll discuss about each and every point, but right now let me classify power, efficiency as well as the fuel consumption. Okay, so about efficiency, first type of efficiency that is related with the indicated power, so it will become indicated thermal efficiency. Basically efficiencies are represented by this symbol is called neta. Okay, second type of efficiency is the brake thermal. This is related with the brake power, brake thermal efficiency. Third type of efficiency is the mechanical efficiency, means how efficient the mechanical components are to develop the power. Okay, so the every parameter has its own formula. Fourth type of efficiency is the volumetric efficiency. We will discuss each and every point to clarify it. Okay, and fifth is the relative efficiency. Okay, so these are the five types of efficiency. Now let's focus on the consumption, fuel consumption here. fuel consumption, generally we can consider how much fuel is consumed during the combustion process and during running the IC engine. So there are two types of consumptions I'll focus here. First is related with the indicated power, that becomes indicated specific fuel consumption. Okay, that is mentioned by ISFC, indicated specific fuel consumption. And second type of fuel consumption we'll consider in terms of the brake power, that is the brake specific fuel consumption, and it is also mentioned as BSFC, means brake specific fuel consumption. So this is the small this is the classification through which we can derive various engine performance parameters. Okay, now we have we will try to focus on each and every parameter to discuss in the lecture here. Okay, so we'll start with the frictional power. So let's move to second page here. Now I will try to explain about the frictional power. Now in I change pen color here. Okay, frictional power. Now here one basic formula we need to understand, that is indicated power is the sum of brake power and frictional power. Okay, this is the basic understandable formula to evaluate various terms of the parameters. Okay, so when we have to understand the frictional power will be the difference between indicated power and brake power. Okay, so there are various methods to calculate the frictional power here. Now first of all I will write one formula which will make it understandable about the frictional power. Frictional power, it can be, as it is mentioned, IP. So in terms of the difference between IP and BP, so IP, that is the indicated power, it is 2 pi nt over 60, and the units are in kilowatts. Okay, so n is here revolution per minute and t is the torque. Generally t is also considered as a force into distance. In that manner we can calculate. But second formula to calculate IP, that becomes IP is equal to, it becomes indicated mean effective pressure. This is a special term which can be calculated by the use of the indicators we'll discuss, multiply by length of the stroke then area, then small n is nothing but these are the number of power strokes per minute, and k, that is the number of cylinders, divided by 60,000. Okay, then it becomes in kilowatt. In second term, if we calculate the brake power, it becomes brake mean effective pressure, then L A N K divided by 60,000 in kilowatt minute. Means only the difference is in the brake mean effective pressure and indicated mean effective pressure in brake power as well as the indicated power. So here we can calculate frictional power is the difference between IP and BP. Okay. Okay. So in next page, frictional power, how to calculate, we will focus about it. Generally there are some methods through which we can calculate the frictional power. So let's discuss about it. First is, we'll focus each and every method. First is the Williams line method. Okay. Second is Moore's test. Third is motoring test. And fourth is the retardation test. There is one more test that can be calculated after comparing all these types of four tests. So for today's lecture, let's focus on the Morse test. Okay, this test here we can calculate the brake power, then indicated power can be calculated, and its difference we can consider in the terms of the frictional power. Okay, so in this manner we can calculate. So let's focus on the Morse test. Morse test. So Morse test is a very practical phenomena in which we can evaluate the frictional power. Okay, so here I will focus on drawing the rough diagram of the engine cylinders. To try to understand the basic concept behind this. Okay, let it be inlet and outlet valve here in each cylinder. Okay, Morse test can be conducted on petrol as well as diesel engines. Okay, so in petrol engines we will add here the spark plug. Okay, so let's position the piston in each cylinder. Okay, because at a same time the positioning of piston may be different. It may be different in each cylinders. Okay, now if I further connect it with the crankshaft here. So every time it will have different positioning of the system. Okay, now see, roughly I'll mention that all these crankshaft are in one line. Okay, and Morse test is considered only in case of the multi-cylinder engines. This is in case of multi-cylinder engines. Okay. So brake power is measured from the output shaft. So here brake dynamometers are connected. Now the main basic about Morse test, that we have to stop the ignition one by one in each cylinder. Okay, suppose this is the cylinder number 1, this is the cylinder number 2, this is third one, and this is the fourth one. Okay, simultaneously the processes are carried out. When combustion takes place, energy is being developed in each and every combustion chamber, in every cylinder. So what will be the role? First of all, we have to stop or cut off the spark plug in the cylinder number 1. Then we will calculate the indicated power as well as the friction power. Okay, this will be the case number 1. In second case, means when in case number 1 spark plug is cut off, every other cylinder is running with accurate functioning of the spark plug. Okay, in second case we will cut off the working of the spark plug. Here at this moment, first cylinder, third cylinder and fourth cylinder, these are working in very proper manner. Case number 3, we will cut off the spark plug of the cylinder number 3. At this moment, first, second and third will be functioning well. And in fourth case, we will cut off the functioning of spark plug of engine cylinder number 4. Then first, second, third, these are working. Means what we are doing, one by one we are cutting off the functioning of the spark plug. But right now we are considering the case of the spark ignition. If it is the case of compression ignition system or diesel engine system, then there we cannot consider spark plug. There we will consider we are stopping the supply of the fuel from the injector system in the cylinder number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so here I will mention a system here in which we can calculate the indicated power. Okay, now some mathematical calculation we have to do. Let IP1, IP2, IP3 and IP4, okay, these are the indicated powers for the cylinders 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, now next let it be frictional powers F1, F2, F3 and F4. Okay, so these are the frictional powers for the cylinder 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 4. Just hold on. And 4. But we all know brake power will be the difference between IP and FP. Here in this case we are calculating the friction power, but we need to understand, or we can start it from the brake power. That will be the difference between total indicated power, that can be taken from this term, okay, minus total friction power that can be taken from this. Okay, so we have to calculate brake power by taking a difference between total indicated power and total friction power. Okay, so here I'll write it here. Brake power is equal to, let's write total indicated power. Total indicated power means it will be the sum of I1, I2, I3 and I4 minus friction power F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4. Okay, so just remember this equation because it will be used afterwards. Okay, equation number star. Now let's consider the case number 1. Case number 1, first case. Let us cut off the spark plug in cylinder number 1. Okay, in cylinder number 1, and this is done by short circuiting the spark plug of the engine. Or if we are taking the diesel engine, then we can do cutting off fuel supply of the cylinder. So here we are cutting the spark plug connection here by doing short circuiting. Now when cylinder number 1 is cut off, its indicated power, that will be I1, is 0. Why? Because indicated power is only discussed when some amount of energy is developed, that is due to the combustion process. Okay, so no combustion takes place, it means the indicated power is also 0. Okay, but what happens, indicated power is 0, frictional power, just wait, here frictional power remains the same because engine is running, so there is amount of friction developed between the movable parts. So indicated power can be considered as 0, but frictional power, it remains the same. So brake power 1 means brake power 1 in, it means first engine where spark plug is cut off, so we can calculate the brake power of total number of cylinder. So as we all know, BP is the difference between IP and FP. So indicated power becomes I1, that is 0, plus I2 plus I3 plus I4 minus friction 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so in this manner it can be calculated. So this is, it becomes the 4 cylinder number 1. So if I take BP minus BP1, now where is the BP? So I told you to remember that equation, this one, BP is equal to sum of indicated powers minus sum of the friction powers. So there equation number star is given. So here it can be mentioned as BP minus BP1, it can be written as I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4 minus F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4. Okay, so this becomes BP minus BP1 means when spark plug number 1 for cylinder number 1 was cut off, so it becomes, we can write it as 0 plus I1 I2. It this equation can be written. Okay, this is for BP1. So I2 plus I3 plus I4, okay, minus F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 in this manner. So here indicated power I1 is mentioned it as it is, and here indicated power for first cylinder is 0. Okay, so remaining terms will be cancelled with each other, and we can write like BP minus BP1 is equal to only I1, because all the terms are cancelled. Here. So this is calculated in case of the cylinder number 1. Similarly, cutting off the cylinder number 2, 3 and 4 one by one, and brake power of remaining 3 cylinders, these are determined. So in that manner, so it can be written as, so this is the indicated power 1 here, this is for 1. So next term we can calculate for second cylinder, BP minus BP2, it can be mentioned as I2. Then BP minus BP3, it can be mentioned as I3. Okay, and for fourth cylinder it becomes BP minus BP4, and it becomes indicated power 4. Okay, so we have 4 terms: first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Okay, so now let's calculate total indicated power of engine. Total indicated power of the engine. Total indicated power of engine, this. So it becomes IP is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4. Okay, so from this I1, I2, I3 and I4, these can be used here. So we can mention all this term here. Let's put the value of I1, I2, I3 and I4. So it becomes BP minus BP1 plus BP minus BP2 plus BP minus BP3 and plus BP minus BP4. Okay, so such kind of summation we have obtained here. Now IP, that is the total indicated power, it becomes, after solving this, BP plus BP plus BP plus BP, means 4 times, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then it becomes BP 1 plus BP 2 plus BP 3 plus BP 4. Okay, so in this manner this relation is obtained. Then after solving it, it gives indicated power is equal to 4 times BP minus, this relation can be written here, BP1 plus BP2 plus BP3 and plus BP4. Okay, so here this formula becomes indicated power is equal to 4 times brake power, and that is uh, taken from BP1 from first cylinder, second cylinder, third cylinder, fourth cylinder, by cutting off the spark plug. Means we have to stop the mechanism, we have to stop the functioning of the spark plug, and then we can calculate the indicated power. Okay, so it becomes BP is equal to, we all know it is the difference between IP and FP. Okay, so from this relation we can calculate the brake power, but what thing have to be calculated, this is the friction power, because this Morse test is used to calculate the frictional power. So again it will be the difference between IP and BP. Okay, so IP can be calculated, brake power on the output shaft can be calculated, so its difference we can calculate here. So this is all about Morse test. This is all about Morse test, and this is practical phenomena is available in our practical that laboratory. So where we will perform this practical by keeping the cylinders, means its functioning of the cylinder, we have to stop one by one, so that every cylinder will give its brake power, and from brake power we can take the difference between IP and FP. So this relationship, this formula is used to calculate the indicated power of the 4 cylinder. Okay, Morse test is applicable only on the multi-cylinder engines, means single cylinder engine is not suitable for this, because how can we stop the mechanism of the spark plug. Okay, because power development should be continuously there in the other cylinders of the IC engines. Okay, so in today's lecture I will just revise it. In today's lecture we have focus on the Morse test. Okay, that is applicable on the multi-cylinder engines, where this functioning of the spark plug can be restrict one by one in each cylinder. Okay, so this is the one type of test. Remaining testing techniques we will discuss in the next lecture. Here today we have discussed about Morse test. In next lecture we will discuss about Williams line method, motoring test, as well as the retardation method. Fifth is also there, so that is the comparison between all these type of frictional power calculations. Okay, so I hope you understood the mechanism to calculate the friction power. In next coming lectures we will focus on calculation of indicated power as well as the brake power with the help of indicators and with the help of the various dynamometers. Okay, so this is the small classification of the engine performance parameters in which we have discussed about the calculation of the friction power. Okay, and this is the basic uh, basic idea about the use of energy, means how much energy is actually used to develop the power inside the IC engine. Okay, I hope you have understood the concept. So I'll stop for today. In next lecture we'll focus on the next type of parameters to calculate the friction power. Okay, thank you so much.